Mom uses a sperm donor only to find out her doctor's twisted trick. Pauline Chambliss and her husband tried to have a biological baby for 14 long years. Years that came with a lot of sorrow and disappointment. But after eventually deciding to use a sperm donor, their situation didn't improve. In fact, decades later, Pauline discovered the process hadn't exactly gone as planned. Pauline Chambliss and her husband struggled with infertility. After over a decade of failing to conceive, along with several taxing miscarriages, they could no longer bear the disappointment. So in 1984, the couple walked into Dr. Kim McMorris' office in Nacogdoches, Texas. He was the fertility doctor in our area. You couldn't have asked for a more caring and polite, likable person and doctor, Pauline said. She felt comfortable, confident, and safe working with Dr. McMorris. It was safe to say Pauline and her womb were in the best hands. It seemed that way anyway. Just like any alternative method for having a child, whether it be adoption, IVF, or utilizing a sperm donor, there was a ton of paperwork. Pauline and her husband filled out a questionnaire regarding their preferred donor features, including hair color, height, and ethnicity. Before they knew it, the couple was paired with hand-selected, anonymous sperm donors that matched their desired characteristics. Pauline endured 2.5 years of artificial insemination appointments, praying and hoping a pregnancy would stick. While this led to a handful of pregnancies, they all ended in miscarriages after about 6 weeks. It was devastating, Pauline stated. Over the course of the long, draining process, she got closer and closer to Dr. McMorris, and he was always there for emotional support. Over that period of time, you build up trust for someone who appears to be doing his very best to try to help you conceive. I put my faith in him, explained Pauline, and in 1986, a miracle happened. A pregnancy finally stuck, and Dr. McMorris was there for Pauline throughout all nerve-wracking 9 months. As soon as I got to the hospital in labor, he came and stayed by my side through delivery until an hour after Jessica was born, Pauline detailed. Jessica was born beautiful and healthy, and Pauline and her husband never wanted to keep any secrets from her. Therefore, Jessica grew up knowing that she was conceived with help from a donor. So as she got older, the curious kid wondered who her biological daddy-o was. Mom was completely honest, and it made me feel special. I knew how hard she tried to have me, Jessica told the New York Post. The 80s, 90s, and early 2000s passed the family by, and in 2020, 33-year-old Jessica Stavina was determined to get some answers. She also shared everything she knew about my biological father, that he was a tall, medical student with red hair who loved music. I'd often wonder if one day I'd meet him, the medical spa manager continued. She soon realized there was more to the mystery than just her father's identity. Did Jessica have any half-siblings? Did they know who their father was? Was there a genetic explanation for her own rare medical issues? Her burning questions only got more intense, and she finally did something about it in January 2020. She took a DNA test, thrilled to finally have some concrete answers. When the results came back on February 23rd, Jessica was so ecstatic that she called 67-year-old Mama Pauline. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it, she relayed. My husband had Mom on speakerphone as I clicked to see my relatives, Jessica said. Though her results weren't as crystal clear as Lizzo's, turns out Jessica has 3 half-siblings, 2 sisters and a brother. Jessica was practically bursting at the seams with excitement as she immediately hopped on Facebook and sent her half-siblings friend requests. It wasn't long before she received a message from her long-lost half-sister, Eve Wiley. Hi, do you know the details of your birth story? Was Dr. McMorris your mom's doctor? Eve's message read. While Jessica was a bit puzzled, she never could have expected what Eve wrote next. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he is also our biological father. As you could imagine, Jessica was shell-shocked. What was Eve talking about? How could that be? After reading the message aloud to Pauline, who was still on speakerphone, She was silent. Pauline managed to shout, "What? I just thought, no, that's absolutely impossible. I would never have agreed for my doctor to donate sperm," Pauline explained. Shockingly, it was possible, as they were victims of fertility fraud.